Hey guys, it's Brett FX. We're going to have a real quick video here. Hopefully it's not going to be too long, but just going to be mulling over a couple of ideas in my head for the Incursions game mode. I have seen a couple of people talk about the objectives and, how they maybe wanted to see them tweak. I know I have definitely said that in the past, so I'm just going to kind of run by a couple of ideas. Don't get all crazy and mad at me because I know some of you guys out there probably absolutely hate this. But, in no way, shape, or form are these ideas going to be taken by the devs. I do not expect them whatsoever to implement anything that I say, although it would be kind of cool if some of them were implemented. But, hey, bounce some ideas down there in the comments section. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. Again, this is just my opinion on it. I'm not trying to force it down anybody's throat. Just, some thoughts popped in the head, decided to make a video on it. All right, so let's get right on into it. So first of all, let's talk about the start of the match. What is it going to look like? Well, right here I have what it's basically going to look like for the spectator. You can see that the home flags are gone, or just for the sake of this video, I'm going to call them the home villages. And they're going to be the main spawns. They're going to be the areas that you spawn in first in order to go and attack that B flag. So once you capture that B flag, it's going to do something a little bit different than what we see in the Incursions now. So it's going to do two things. One, it's going to move that spawn location back to the main spawn. So where the Incursions main spawn traditionally is now, that is where that team will be spawning from now on. For the team who ended up capping Bravo, what's going to happen is that in that village, there's going to be an MCOM now. And we'll get into how the MCOMs are going to work and the scoring system behind them. But the MCOM is going to be spawning in to give them a very precise, a very direct objective in order to go do. Now, my reasoning for saying that we need an MCOM there is because when you have a flag cap radius, it's not as exciting when somebody is sitting on the edge of the cap and stalling out. Or, you have three guys that power burn it while another guy's sitting on it and they're just sitting there. It's not very fun to watch. And while I'm not saying it can't be exciting at all, because I did cast 5v5s back in Battlefield 3, I have cast Conquest and since Battlefield 3 and all of the franchises, so I mean, I understand that it can be fun to watch in a flag only mode, but that MCOM gives it that little bit of tension in there. Squad rush, squad obliteration from Battlefield 4. When a team arms that objective, they have a certain amount of time that they have to hold it. And it's a tense moment. Are they going to be able to hold on? Will they be able to keep their teammates alive? Are they going to be able to get those revives, those spawns coming in? Will they be able to get the picks coming in from the defending team? On the other side, the defending team, they have a set amount of time to get that disarm, where they're going to give the other team a lead, a potentially huge lead, which is going to be almost disastrous to have to come back from. And it's just going to be that much harder. So, it has this level of tension, this level of anxiety to it that not only a player, but also a spectator sees. And as a spectator, it's exciting to have those matches go over where it's back and forth and all of a sudden trade after trade after trade. And then it comes down to a one-on-one and the defending team finally gets the kill and he gets the defuse. And it's just like, oh my God, that was crazy. That was intense. He gets the defuse. He saves it for his team. A clutch moment just happened. And we don't have that for flags, not to that extent that we do for a bomb site. So how are the points going to work? Well, the points are going to be virtually the same for 70% of the way it works now in Incursions. You're still going to get one ticket for a kill. You'll still get one ticket for a vehicle kill. The changes that are going to be happening are going to be for squad wipes, flag caps. So for a squad wipe, I'm suggesting that you drop it from 3 to 2. And I'm suggesting for the flag capture that you only get one ticket since there's only one flag on the field. So every 14 seconds, you'll get 1 point instead of the 2. This will slow down the game a little bit in that regard if it just goes down to a fight over B all the time, which is not a bad thing. It's not a terrible thing. So I think that it would be better for the flow of the game to have that just one ticket and allow teams to come back in as well. Now, for the MCOMs, this is going to be the biggest change, obviously. I suggest that the MCOM would award you a full set. In other words, 15 tickets. So I'll say that one more time. I think that the MCOM should award you a full set or 15 tickets. Now, this set will not carry over to the next one. So the tickets, let's say you have 5 tickets already and you win the MCOM. It doesn't carry over 5 more tickets to the next set. It just gives you that set flat out. So in the instance that you may have 14 tickets, your team might want to, instead of going and arming that MCOM, you might want to play back a little bit, get a kill, win that set, then go in for the arm on the MCOM. That way you can get potentially two sets back to back, boom, boom, really fast. I do think that this would be a very interesting take on it. It would give the teams a very high reward for going out for that MCOM, but at the same time, you do have a little bit of a risk because there is no way that you can lock the B flag by going after the MCOM. It is still open back there. So let's talk a little bit about how the MCOMs are going to work. So once you capture that Bravo flag and the MCOM does spawn in and the opposing team's village or the area that we're going to be designating as the MCOMs, then it's going to spawn in one of 3 locations. It'll be randomly at these 3 locations, and this is basically going to allow it so that you can't sit on one spot, capture that B flag, have a guy there already, and just arm it right away. You know, it is going to force the teams to have to kind of go to that point whenever they capture that B flag. The timer for the MCOMs are going to be basically like they are in Rush for the time being. You know, obviously this could be tweaked. I know that they were in Squad Obliteration. They were tweaked a little bit, but you know, anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds after the bomb is armed in order for it to go off. Of course, you do have the ability to where if you get on it for the disarm, it could extend the timer out a little bit. But once that person is killed, it immediately explodes after that, so on and so forth. Like I said, just like it is in Rush, similar to what it was doing back in Squad Obliteration with the timers of the bomb sites themselves. So once the bomb is destroyed, it will basically give an AoE damage effect. Again, similar to like what it did in Squad Obliteration Battlefield 4. The purpose for this is so that teams can't stack up onto the bomb right to the very end. There is going to be there's going to be a drawback for sitting on and camping on that MCOM. If you camp on it, you'll die. And what this does allow is it allows the losing team an opportunity, if the team who has planted the MCOM that's sitting on it, if they have 2 or 3 of their members die, it allows the losing team to have an opportunity to come back, clear out their village, clear out that area in order to make a push back down into Bravo. As for the team who did the arming, okay, they have 2 choices. They can die on the bomb and make sure that they 100% get the points, get the set, secure it, or they can back off towards the end of the timer and make sure that they're at a safe distance in a safe area to live, and take that chance of maybe a guy sneaking in there and getting a defuse. We saw this in Squad Obliteration. I know I'm using that as a suggestion a lot, or as an example, but I think that was some really good parts back in that particular mode. And so, you know, this does allow for the losing team to not just get completely trashed every single time. Now, once that bomb does explode, what I'm suggesting is that if the team who initially got that arm, that MCOM, it does go down, if they still own that Bravo flag, then another MCOM is going to be spawning in anywhere from 60 seconds to 120 seconds. I'm not sure. That timer can be fiddled with. You know, you could wait 2 minutes before the next MCOM is going to be spawning back in. That's going to give the losing team an opportunity to push them back off of the village area, try and get down into that B flag, you know, focus the fight down there onto the flag itself, give them an opportunity to capture B, and then push up to the enemy's MCOM on the other side of the map. It doesn't have to be 120 seconds. You know, like I said, you can kind of play with that timer a little bit, but it also doesn't allow the team who has just secured the MCOM and blown it up to sit there and just immediately go arm another one. They have to defend that area for a considerable amount of time. I mean, if you think about it, 60 to 120 seconds, that's a long time. That's going to give enough time for a tank to spawn back in. That's going to give enough time for at least 2, maybe even 3 full team spawn-ins and pushes to come back in. And to be quite honest, you know, in this situation, you may say, well, it's just not fair. It's not fair that the team can sit in on that area and just camp them. Well, to be completely honest, if they're camping them out there, if they're able to actually win sets and get kills with, you know, sitting on those potential MCOM sites, waiting for them to respawn, well, that team was going to get demolished anyways. And if it was in the flag version of it, they'd be getting spawn trapped the whole time. So really, I don't see a problem with this. They're basically going to destroy the other team anyways. At least this way, the team has an opportunity, a better opportunity, to come back into the game. They can capture onto that B flag, because remember, when these MCOMs, when they explode or when they're armed, that B flag is not locked. Those players can then go in for a flank and go for B. So the team who is winning, who is aggressive, who is on that MCOM section, has to defend, if they want to wait for that bomb, 2 sites. They have to defend the B flag, and they have to defend the MCOM stations. So what do? Do you pull back and defend that B site? Well, if you do, then that gives the losing team an opportunity to push on up and to have that fight on that B site, which is what we want. We want the losing team to have an opportunity to come back and make a game out of it, to have an opportunity to capture that B flag and push them back. Now, am I saying that's going to happen every time? Absolutely not. You know, a team could also, if they're feeling very confident, set their tank back there, have 4 guys pushed up, and they can just rule the day, you know, just fight it out right there. So those are my thoughts on it, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought about that. I really think that there's some cool stuff in there, and you know, Incursions, it is fun right now. It definitely could use some work, but you know, throwing around ideas like this is just pretty fun. Like I said before, I don't really expect anything from it, but hey, you know what, if the developers glean something from this and makes the game better, then all the more power to them, I guess. But make sure you guys do check it out on Reddit and in Discord. Give your feedback on Incursions, guys. This is an opportunity for us to work with the developers. This is an opportunity for us to make an impact on a potential competitive game for us in the future. So you know, I know a lot of you guys have always complained about the fact that you didn't have feedback, or they weren't getting the right feedback. Well, now's your chance. So anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. It wasn't too long. We'll see you guys later. Bye.